first buy, and then over the FIDIP, I believe the number gets to, I think, approximately 70. We assumed a 5-year life cycle over the vessels, and then we would start replacing them.
So we'll spend $6 billion and get 70 vessels?
70 vessels, including all the, we believe, all the sustainment and such for them.
Okay. And will that count in the 30-year shipbuilding plan that the Navy has? Will those vessels count as part of that?
Can I answer?
Chairman, we're because the USVs are new. The Department of the Navy right now is looking at all of our options for how we present to the Congress the accounting of the USVs in the shipbuilding plan. We recognize that because they bring combat capability, there has to be some way to articulate that to you. But they are unlike our other ships, and so there's a discussion going on where the Secretary will make a final decision as he signs out the shipbuilding plan of exactly how to articulate those numbers and that demand in the shipbuilding plan. They will be in there, sir.
So 70 divided by $6 billion, does that, from your standpoint, does that seem like a good return? And is that the way to look at it or not?
I mean, if that were just the purchase price or the lease price, I think that would not necessarily be, but it's not. And that is a total ownership price. And that is the price of operating these vessels. And one of the benefits of doing things differently is that we get to explore different models. Unlike all of the commissioned work.
Both capital costs and operating costs?
Yes, sir.
For how long? 5 years?
The plan right now is for a 5-year center for the vessel. And I think that as we learn our way through the process of operating MUSVs, we'll determine whether that number needs to change.
So are there going to, do you think after that there'll be scales that we can, the price will be coming down?
I don't know if the price will come down. We will continue to have requirements for more USVs, and so we will scale in our ability to operate them. We will scale in our ability to provide force packages to our fleet commanders. I expect that we'll scale in our ability to acquire them as well, but the specific learning we'll go through, I don't yet know.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to go back and forth because I think we both have a whole lot of questions. And so just some basics. Because we've been having a number of hearings about the JIATA 401, I'm kind of like trying to compare like the Navy to the structural model. So the JIATA 401 is a interagency task force. It reports directly to the OSD. The Army is the executive, meaning if General Ross says, hey, I need more staff, he goes to the Secretary of the Army to ask for more staff, but it is interagency. Is the Navy at that table? So talk about the PAE-RES and the connection into the Navy. And I asked that question because when we were getting briefed from the JIATF about their protection of naval assets, they were talking about protection of naval assets from the air. But when we asked, okay, how are you protecting them from the sea and subsea? Well, that's the Navy's responsibility. They didn't say they weren't being protected, but that wasn't the JIATF's job. So talk about your interaction with that organization so that we can have some sense that we're not in silos here, but there is a more holistic look at this.
Absolutely. At the same time we were stood up, we also met with ASN, EINE installations, and it was determined that PAE-RAS would be the integrator for capabilities and for the Counter-UAS as well. Mm-hmm. And so and that makes us the primary interface into JIATA 401. Okay. So we do work back and forth with them often. When, without going into a lot of details, when Epic Fury kicked off, we started looking for capabilities for our installations. And the first place we went for the counter-air was the JIATF marketplace, because they had contracts set up, and if we bought systems through them, we knew they were interoperable with all the other systems for the different bases that they had prioritized in their initial tranche. So, so hand in hand on all the counter-air. The Counter-USV and Counter-UV, yes, we do have that mission. We're working on the top-level requirements for that now. That did not stop us from fielding capability for Epic Fury.
And just to kind of converse here, when you use the word marketplace, you can use a small LEM. We know what a small LEM marketplace is. This is more than that. This is like JADF has.
They literally have like an
kind of
Amazon
established marketplace where the innovators come with, with their own platforms that get tested, and then this one's approved, and you're using their marketplace for counter aerial or aerial systems, but you're establishing your own marketplace to test and then make available with this kind of local autonomy. You guys were talking about systems that are surface and subsurface. Do I understand that right?
Yes, I mean, it looks like an Amazon storefront.
Yeah.
And at that point, then the contracts people get, involved behind the scenes once we click, cart. It doesn't go to your Visa card. But, so yes, we bought from their actual marketplace, different from our marketplace that we talk about for MUSV.
Yeah.
For what we have talked about with OSW and is that they want to create a larger marketplace for all of the capabilities, and in which case we would put our offerings there as well. So small USVs, counter capability, anything that we have arranged that can be a contractor-owned, contractor-operated asset, we would let the rest of the services know that we could service those needs as well across the services. And so that isn't a fledgling concept.
Yeah.
But even before that, so we are not only working on defense of our installations. General Ross has acknowledged that he's got needs for counter-UAV and counter-USV for other than Navy bases, and so we will also in the very beginning, also in the very beginnings of that partnership for those other domains. But we will be helping him with those solutions as well.
Let me ask you one about just sort of the alphabet soup that we always get into in any program like this, and it's the change from MASC to MUSV. So the Navy had been pursuing modular attack surface craft, the MASC program, but the Navy canceled that program and they launched the medium unmanned surface vessel program. And I want to know if that's a change in name or if that's actually a change in sort of substance. I think the justification was that the MASC program was too narrowly tailored to achieve the Golden Fleet objectives, and the MUSV program kind of broadened the gauge a little bit about what you're actually acquiring. Tell us, each of you, what the MASC program could not achieve, that you believe the MUSV program can achieve.
Senator, from a requirements perspective, the MASC was fairly focused, and MUSV is a